Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the farm. I was going to make a video on this yesterday, but it was just super windy and I couldn't actually make the video. So it's today now, and we got some new stuff here on the farm. We got a new delivery there yesterday, and I just wanted to show you guys what we got. Alright, so here's the first thing. This is a pickup head, hay pickup head for the New Holland Self Propelled Harvester, 1915, 1900. This is the older version than what we have, but it is fairly wide. I think it might even be wider than the one we had before, but yeah, we got this one. Came as a package deal kind of thing. Don't really plan on using it, but at least we have it. Looks like some custom stuff there, but yeah, don't know much about it. It is a dedicated hay pickup, I think. Came out of Ontario at some point in its life. Oh, there it is. There's the number there. 1919 or 919, sorry. A4, New Holland. Village of South Mountain, Ontario. There's another sticker on this side, also from Ontario. There it is there. Arkona, Ontario. So, yeah, that's the hay pickup. Move on to the next thing. So yeah, this is the pickup head we had already. This is the newer style, but yeah, I don't know. It's probably the same width, or maybe a little bit narrower than the other one. But anyway, this is what we got. This is a 360 N4 New Holland corn head. This is the newer style corn head for the harvester. It's a 4-row. It seems narrow, but it is 4-row. Obviously, it's spent its entire life outside. Has some extensions put on it for one reason or another. Needs at least a coat of paint, but yeah, hopefully we can get this operational, because technically it is a better corn head than what we have now for the harvester. I'll show you guys our current corn head in a minute, but yeah, it's a 360 head, so that's it there. Definitely needs some love, but it's a better head than what we have, and it's worth putting some money into compared to what we have, which I'll show you guys right now. So this is our current corn head, the one that we've used all along. It does seem quite a bit wider, but it's still just 4 rows. This head was actually designed where you could swap the front part over, the auger part would stay, and then you put the pickup, the hay pickup on it instead of the fingers for the corn. So it was like a dual head kind of rig, which basically meant that it wasn't very good for hay and it wasn't very good for corn either, but it could do both. So yeah, that was why we ended up going with the newer style hay head instead of trying to find the hay pickup part for this. So anyway, that's the story on this. It's rough too. It needs a lot of work. We keep having trouble with the chains on it and stuff just coming apart. So yeah, it needs some money sunk into it, and it'd be just nice to put my money into something that was a little bit better, you know. So anyway, there's one more thing. I'll show you guys that right now. So unless you completely ignored the thumbnail of this video, you'll know that this is the third thing that we got. This is a 1900 New Holland forage harvester. So this here we bought basically for a parts machine. It's a little bit older than what we have, but it's still basically the same machine. As far as I know, the biggest difference between the 1900 and the 1915 was that they added the electronic shear bar adjustment and the automatic knife sharpener to the 1915. Other than that, I think it's pretty much the same. So it's got 3306 cat in it, just like the other one. It's four-wheel drive. Yeah, pretty much the same deal. This panel is not missing. We have it. It's on a bin full of parts. But this one runs and drives. I parked it right here where it's at. Runs like a top, actually. But it does have a kernel processor on it. The shield is in the building there, but yeah, it does have a kernel processor on it. So we're kind of hoping we'll be able to take it off of this one and put it on the other one. Not this year, but maybe through the winter or something, because it's be quite involved. This stuff is, these brackets are all welded on and whatnot, so it's not really something we want to tackle right now before we start getting into corn, but it is something we will be looking into. I think there's something about the knife sharpener though, so we got to figure that out. As you can see, it's got no knives in it. Apparently they used it and then they were going to put new knives in it, and I don't know, change their mind or something. Not really sure, but yeah, that's it right there. So like I said, pretty much all the parts are the same or very similar in the 1900 and 1915. So it should make a half decent parts machine. The inside is pretty much the same. I never looked yesterday to see how many hours are on it. I thought there was an hours right there. 4,883 hours. So yeah, it's got like double the hours of the other one does. Does have the metal detector on it, obviously. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not too sure. It's pretty much the same in here as the other one. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much the same. I believe it does have air conditioning. I'm quite sure. It's got a radio. Wonder if that works. Probably not. So, yeah. So yeah, this machine was, well, it came from the Annapolis Valley here in Nova Scotia. Before that, it was in Stewiacke, obviously. But before that, I think it probably came from Ontario, just based on the heads and that. I think it had been painted at some point. I don't think the font is quite right for the 1900 stickers and that, and the New Holland. I think somebody painted it up. But yeah, well, you can see here someone painted over a sticker there, so I think it had a mop and bucket paint job at some point. But anyway, so yeah, bought this for a parts machine. Like I said, don't really plan on getting it going, chopping. We got the one harvester, and that's good enough. And for those of you that have been wondering about the 1915, if we figured out what was wrong with it or got it fixed or whatever, it's going back together right now. What happened was there is a spline shaft coming out of the transmission, the main shaft, and that connects onto the hydrostatic motor with a little coupler. So I blew the splines off of the coupler and the main shaft in the transmission. I think what started it all was the bearings going in that main shaft in the transmission. So we put new bearings in it. Dad found a shaft and a coupler and whatever else, gaskets and that. So it's all back together. The transmission is back together, and we're just working on putting it back in the harvester. So it should be good to go for corn harvest. Anyways, guys, that's the story on the harvester. So I'll catch you in the next one. We're doing some third cut right now, so I hope to do a little video on that here.